What's good, everyone? My name is Bboy Intact and welcome to our preparational program. This is my first lesson of the week number 1, and today we're speaking about how to clean your existing combinations and to fulfill them with details. There are two main directions that I recommend you to focus on if you want to improve the cleanliness of your existing combinations and to fulfill them with next level of details. So the first direction is actually ability to create good structure of your combination. Direction number 2 is development of your ability to see the space between your steps, between your ideas and concepts. Once you're able to see that space inside of your movement, you're gonna be able to fulfill this space with extra details. For example, to add grab or thread, or maybe some small additional position to the whole movement that's gonna be visible and gonna add that, like flavor and uniqueness to your movement. When we are speaking about details, I would also say that this is your ability to use different layers over the main combination that you already have. Let's try to imagine a music track. It has melody, it has the main drum, but then the musician gonna add extra details into this composition, right? Gonna add another effects, gonna add more instruments, more sounds, and fulfilling the main melody and the drum section with extra sounds to make it deeper. Something similar we can do in our movement in breaking. Let's go back to the question of structure. I'm gonna use one of my existing combination to give you example and to try to explain you how it works. Here is the structure of today's combo. I start from the hook, making a kick to the side, going under the leg, again to the kick, step, air, kicks, right? So if you go a little bit faster, it's gonna look like this. Boom, bam, boom, ba, boom, boom. When I'm creating a structure of such short combinations, I'm always paying attention on couple moments. The first one is that I want to be sure that the order of the steps is comfortable for my body type and for my type of the movement, that I will be able to execute it clean without overthinking, without stopping where it's not necessary or losing the rhythm. Second important moment is the way how you start the combination. So right now, as in my example, you can see I'm starting from the hook. So already here in my mind, I'm thinking about what I can do to go to this position, like from where I can go to this hook, or from where I can go to this kick, which is step number 2. And when you're thinking like this, you're already kinda visualizing the connection between your combinations and between your arsenal. I'm also paying attention to the speed of the combination, because I want to be sure that I can execute this combo in different pace. Sometimes the rhythm can be really fast, sometimes it's slower, sometimes you need to go double time, and I want to be sure that when I execute my combination with different pace, I still able to keep it clean. Because this is absolutely two different things, to try your combination at the practicing without rushing, slowly taking your time, no adrenaline, or to execute your combination with full power and full energy with adrenaline, and when people watching you, and maybe the rhythm can be kind of fast, and you still need to be able to keep the level of cleanliness. Going back to my today's combination, I want to be sure that I can execute it in different type of pace, that I can do it slowly, and while I'm gonna move slowly, I can keep the level of cleanliness, and I know exactly how to move each position, where the hand's going, how the body reacts, and I'm sure in the order of the step, and I don't think about this anymore. So this is kind of automatic process. And then I want to be sure that when I add extra power into every small step, I still will be able to keep the same structure and to keep the cleanliness of the movement. So I'm gonna test it faster with more power in every step. By checking your structure with different pace, you can see how it works, and you can see if you have some mistakes in the transitions between the steps inside of the structure. What I'm trying to say, if you executing your combination slowly and everything works great, and then you increasing the pace and the structure stop working, you feel discomfort, you're losing the rhythm, you're losing the speed, or some of the steps are not so sharp as they are when you're doing it slowly, then something is wrong. Then maybe some of the steps inside of the structure should be changed, or the order of the steps should be changed, or you need to search for some other solutions. Going back to the beginning of your combination, you remember I already mentioned it, so I'm always thinking about how this beginning can be already connected to some of the stuff from my vocabulary. And right now, in the particular example, I have a couple ways how to connect it to what I already have. Of course, through the hook, which is the first that comes to your mind because this is the first step of the whole combination. So it means I can go here from, of course, basic stuff, or I can add something, let's say, more interesting, and to continue from there to the combination, right? Or there can be some other variations, let's say, with the turns. I also see very clearly that inside of this combo I have the air footwork part, which is air kicks, and for me it's absolutely understandable that to make that part more visible, I can connect another air footwork combo at the beginning and to use the hook as a transition between one combo and the combo that I'm using right now. So what I see right now, it can be something like this: the air hooks directly to the hook and to continue to my combination, right? Let's go a little bit faster to see how it's gonna work. And to be sure that my combination is working perfectly, I will test more and more variations at my practicing. Of course, I'm gonna try to take out the hook and to start from the second step as a directly entrance to this combination. Why not? Because I can see that it works really good too, right? Or I can go to this second step directly from the footwork. Of course, I'm gonna try to connect it with the back rock, because I see it very clearly that from the jump over, the second step will be a really good transition. And I will continue to play, to test and experiment. And of course, the focus of my movement will be the cleanliness. I want to be sure that whatever I do before, after, in between is still not gonna influence on the cleanliness of that combination that I'm using right now as the main structure. That's why I'm testing it, how it works slowly, how it works fast, how it works with new beginning or with the previous combination in the beginning, right? And so on. That gives me opportunity to be sure that my body, my mind is able to execute it clean in any situation. If I'm going to feel that I'm stuck while I'm doing these experiments, while I'm testing my combination with the other combos and with different speed, I will definitely change the step, and I will not try to kind of fake it, because that's gonna influence on my cleanliness and my sharpness. So I need to be sure that every step in my structure gonna work perfectly in different situation, with different steps, with different type of rhythm, with different type of energy that I put into the step. That's why I'm experimenting and testing, and through that I can understand, does it really work for me or it should be changed. That's how you work with the cleanliness, that's how you can improve your cleanliness. And by the way, by doing this, you're also making the step automatic for your body, for your muscle memory. So at the battle, when you're in the moment, it will not take too much efforts to execute that combination, because it's going to be already integrated to your body, to your muscle memory. Now we're going back to the question how to fulfill your existing combination with details. So I've been drilling this combination many times and I already know the order of the steps really good. I know that the cleanliness of every step is nice and that to execute this combination doesn't take too much energy from me, doesn't take too much effort. It's already in my body, it's already in my muscles, and I know that I can fulfill it with the power. Like every step can be strong, sharp and clean. The next what I want to do is to add extra to this combo and to make it more interesting in terms of details. Let's figure out what are the main positions in this combination that I can use as the moment for adding extra detail, extra layer of the move. The first one that I can see is the moment when I'm making a kick to the side. That means that at that moment I can add at least like a grab, or I can add a point, or I can add a knee grab, or maybe I even can change a hand, which can be also interesting and more unexpected, right? Like boom, bam. Might be, I will need to test it if it's gonna work for my type of movement. But anyway, that's the first position where I can put extra detail. Second position where I can add extra detail is obviously the one when I'm going under the leg and this toe is asking me like, just make a grab. Show to people that the toe is there. Show to people that from here you're changing the direction and not just here, but kind of pointing that moment with the grab. So it's gonna be more visible. Kick, grab. If to go a little bit deeper, I also already can see that in the second position, after we made a grab here, I kinda can let it go and continue to the structure that I have, but I also can add extra step and come back to the structure that I'm using after that extra step, just to make it more interesting, and it might work really nice. So from here we have grab, grab, extra step, step over, boom, boom, boom. One more time, grab, grab, extra step, kick, kick, kick. As you can see, just adding couple grabs and small extra step already fulfilling the existing combo with details. But that's not the end. That's actually just the beginning. Let's continue next. So we have the first position, grab, second position, grab, and adding extra step or just keep the grab and that's it. Let's do the easiest combo first. So when we made a grab, from here we need to come back, which means that was the step, right? The next step of the combo. We're adding grab here as well, stepping on the leg, and from here the double air kick, which also can be fulfilled with extra grabs. And if to go slowly through the whole combo, just keeping in mind that we're using the grab inside everywhere to fulfill it with the details, it's gonna look like this. Grab, 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 grab. I will try to do it a little bit faster. Grab, 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 grab. Right? It already looks way more packed than if I execute it without the grabs. And if to come back to the second variation with the extra step and to keep the whole pattern, might look also really interesting. Grab, grab, extra step, step over from here, grab, grab, grab. Let's try to do it faster. Grab, grab, extra step, grab, grab, grab. What you really need to keep in mind is that all these small details, they're not going to be visible and they will not work if the main structure of your combo is not clean. Like if you're not able to execute every position sharp with maximum level of cleanliness, then your grabs will not work as well. You know, if every time when you execute the first step, your leg is in different position here or there, or maybe not straight enough, and your grab is like, you know, not clean. You're like kinda not able to execute it. In that way, the amount of details will not make your combination better. It even gonna make your combination worse because you're not gonna be able to execute them clean and sharp, and that extra moves, extra layers will just make noise in your movement. Let's try to play with more details in that combination. So we've already been using the layer of grabs. Now let's try to add layer of threads. And I see very clearly that it's possible to do in a good way. So the first step was the kick with the grab. The second step is the grab here. And then from here, we come back here. I see very clearly that in that moment, instead of going just directly back here to the grab, we can change the hands and make a thread and come back to that position, but a little bit lower, still keeping the structure of our combination. So it's gonna be like that. Grab, grab, thread, grab, grab. Let's do it a little bit faster. Grab, grab, thread, grab, grab. Changing the side of your existing combination also might be a good idea because some of the moves are working better to other side. That's nature of our body. So I was thinking, okay, if I'm gonna change it to other side and keep it kind of the same way, but gonna add a thread not on the lower level, but inside of the jump, it might be also a really good idea and nice detail inside of the structure. So I'm going grab from here. Instead of going here, I will go directly to the grab here. And now to go back, I will make a thread with the grab, change, and go to double grab air kick. Here is one more example how to add a little bit of details into the existing structure. And in this variation, I'm gonna use my hand just to add a little bit of flavor to every step that we know. So I'm gonna kind of synchronize the move of my hand with the move of my legs, so it looks like one piece. Take a look. I kinda even like that variation with the hands more than with the grabs, because it's not too much extra efforts, not too much extra additional layers, but with this hand I'm kinda underlining the structure and making it more visible to people, you know, like showing the movement of the leg, plus adding the wave here when I'm doing the double kick, and synchronizing two absolutely different styles of movement into one piece. That makes the whole combo look interesting and maybe even more unpredictable than when I'm just working with the grabs and threads. The process of fulfilling your structure with details is endless. There can be many variations, and everything depends, of course, on your approach, your vision of breaking, and your ability to see the space between the steps, where exactly you can put that small extra detail, because not every move allows you to do this. Sometimes the move is already quite good and very short, and the space between that move and other move is very small. So to put some extra small step or move inside of that space will be simply not comfortable, and you might lose the rhythm and you might not be able to execute it when you're tired and so on. So you need to be smart by fulfilling your structure with details and really testing how it can go. Guys, your homework. I think that you're already understanding how it's gonna work, but let me explain you. I want you to take your combination, your existing combination, the structure that you're using, and to make it clean. Try to use those methods that I already mentioned in this lesson and try to apply them into your movement. figure out if everything works smooth in your structure, if you're able to do it with different speed, to different rhythm, and still to keep the cleanliness of the structure of your combination. Try to understand if the flow and order of the step is comfortable for your body type, and you can start this combination from different positions, which is very important in terms of being in the moment and in the freestyle. Once you know for sure that your combinations are clean and ready to execution, fill in combination with the details. Add extra layers on those good quality combinations. You already have clean structure, so find those moments, empty spaces that kinda give you opportunity to add extra, and try to use grabs, threads, hands, additional steps in that space that gonna fulfill your combination with details and make it more visible to people, more interesting and more spontaneous. Record your final combinations on the video and send it to our work chat so we can give you recommendations, fix your mistakes, and guide you to the direction that maybe you are missing, so you can of course get the best result. Thank you for watching the lesson. Let's work.